So, Kiesza, you have a show August 16th at Rec Room. What can people expect from the show?
The show is honestly so fun. It's kind of a weird hybrid between a DJ set and a live performance set because the music actually never stops. So
Mm.
you're basically going to a dance party, and it's set up to dance the whole night. And then on top of that, I'm going to be performing with my dancer Jalen Brown, who is this unbelievably talented dancer who I met in Los Angeles. And yeah, we have a show together that we've been doing since last year, but we've expanded. There's going to be a lot of new music in this show, and it's going to basically be Dancing and Crying 1 and 2.
Hmm.
Dancing and Crying 2 comes out this Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite kind of bodies of music that I put out, in the sense that it's like really fun, it's really sexy, it is literally made for the dance floor. For
Hmm.
me, I've been always kind of bridging the pop dance world, and it's like, do I make it for radio? Do I make it for the club? Do I find a version in between? But I was like, this one is for the dance floor. Like, this is meant to flow from start to finish. So I've blended the songs all together in a big dance party, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I really want people to come together and just have the best night, and yeah, and it's going to be so good to connect with fans again. It's been a little while since I've been to the Midwest, and coming up to Buffalo is actually so close to where I live, Toronto.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Is it? I mean, I talk to whenever I talk to like any Canadian artist, like, does Buffalo feel like home to you almost? Because it's so close.
Yeah, it's so close to the border. I have a really good friend in Buffalo, so I'm going to be really excited to see her. I remember
Hmm.
the last time I went there, I can't remember the name of the venue. There's like a haunted venue where Elvis used to perform.
I know what
And
you're talking about, but I'm blanking on it. But yeah, I know what you're talking
oh
about.
my God, did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just said haunted building and the lights went off and on. That's crazy.
Maybe there's something going on there too.
What just happened? Anyways, I'm a bit sensitive to stuff, and I walked in this building, this venue there. It's an old one.
Hmm.
It was there since Prohibition, and I just got a weird, eerie vibe. And I guess they don't do tours. It's not like a known. It's not like a place that they do as like a haunted tour. But I had
Right.
to go up to the staff, and I was like, "Is this place haunted?" Because I'm getting feelings. And they looked at me, and they're like, "How did you know?" And I'm like, "I am sensing some energy in this place." They're like, "It is not only is it haunted, it's like this was Al Pacino's lair."
Okay, I
And then
think it
they,
might have been Town Ballroom because I know that was a
yeah, I
speakeasy
think so.
during it was a speakeasy
Yeah.
during Prohibition. So I think that's the one.
Yeah, so if you actually convince them to take you on a tour, they'll take you down. It goes down multiple levels, and his safe is still in there. And I
That's so
actually went
cool.
inside Al Pacino's safe, and yeah, and a lot of my staff at the time, the crew at that time, wouldn't even go. Like
Hmm.
once I told them it was haunted, they're like, "I'm not even going downstairs,"
That's
and it
very
was
cool though.
crazy.
I've lived here my whole life. I've covered music here for a very long time, and I've never heard of this lore about Town Ballroom. So I'm gonna have to check it out.
I don't think there's lore. I think I just
No,
picked it up, and then they're like,
that's cool.
"Yeah," because they said they don't take people on tours, so
Hmm.
you should go there.
Hmm. And ask.
No, I'm just announcing this publicly now. Just go there and ask for the tour, and ask to see the safe, and there's poker rooms from
Hmm.
underground, and
Hmm.
they can show you where they sealed off the tunnel where they used to go from club to club underground. It's crazy.
That's very cool.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, you should definitely go there and see if they'll give you a tour of that because it's pretty great.
Check it out.
That's
Um,
my last time performing in Buffalo. I was a ghost haunting. So,
that's
yay.
pretty cool. Um, Now you mentioned this new EP. It's part two. I guess when you were putting this together, did you have a plan initially? Like, do you want to do part one and part two, or did you finish part one and say, "Hey, I want to do more," and just kind of jump into this?
This is a whole series, so there are volumes.
Okay,
So I'm already working on
so you're already
three
working
and
on
four.
that.
Oh yeah, there's three
That's
and
pretty cool.
four, and maybe even five. As I write songs, I figure out where they go. But
Mhm.
so I'm kind of writing multiple at the same time. It started out as I wanted to do four,
Okay.
so kind of like two albums worth of dance music. but I think it's going to go beyond. And what I love about this concept, it's like a TV series as opposed to a movie.
Mhm.
There's just more time to develop the concept in itself. And it's also developing as I go through life and as I grow and as I explore myself. So it's interesting because volume two started completely different than what you hear now. And then some of the songs that I had initially intended have been bumped to volume four, for example, because the volume one is a kind of blend. It's a very eclectic blend of dance music.
Mhm.
You're getting like very clubby, kind of really catchy, like one hook, one verse, just straight up dance songs. And then you're getting folk, acoustic, and Americana blended with dance music, like house, all on one volume.
Mhm.
And that was me exploring, like, where am I at with myself, with the dance world? I was coming back onto the dance scene after a long hiatus because of my car crash. Years ago, I couldn't be around the dance scene for a long time because I have a head injury, and the lights
Mhm.
and the sound were just too much for my brain to handle. But I really turned a corner recently. So I was like, I'm returning to the dance scene. What is it going to look like? And I knew my fans were missing the dance music that I used to put out. So yeah, it's kind of like a big gift to my audience, but also I wanted to make it a journey for myself to explore and grow as an artist. So that's
Mhm.
why it shifts and changes. So it started very eclectic. Volume two, it I was just kind of playing around with Stays in Bed. I don't know if you heard Stays in Bed,
Mhm.
which was the
Yeah.
first single. Sammy Vergy, who is an amazing DJ, and I'm a massive fan of, sent over this piano riff. And I literally wanted to always do a track where I was just pretty much whispering the whole track.
Mhm.
And the piano riff was so sexy that I was like, I think this is the track for that concept. And so I started just whispering sexy things on the mic. I think I wrote that song in like 5 minutes. And like I'm not even joking, like so fast. It was practically all freestyled. A lot of the stuff on on volume two were freestyled
Mhm.
mainly. But I loved the dark, sexy energy, and I had never kind of like gone like this intensely into that energy. I've
Mhm.
always been very like sporty, very like ooh, like like I have a very bubbly personality, so like for me to go into the like really dark, sexy energy is like a little new for people. But I have that side. It's just been more kind of behind the scenes. So I decided to just go for it because blending that with like say the folk hybrid songs,
Right.
it was like a too big of a contrast. So I was
Yeah.
like, I need to bump these off, do a whole volume of this because I have some crazy monster songs for that. For the like dancing and crying four is just honestly, I'm so excited for some of the songs that are coming on that one. But I had to group those songs together.
Mhm.
So this is like the really sexy, like flirt with someone. This is like you're feeling yourself, you're feeling good, you're feeling cute, you're going to the nightclub, you're like flirting with someone on the floor. It's all about sensual energy. And yeah, so and I think I know what Dancing and Crying 3 is, but the funny thing is they really do change at the last minute. So
Mhm.
it's really hard to predict. Yeah. So it's gonna be one and two and like some of the bigger songs that people know on this tour. But it's very dancing and crying heavy.
This particular volume being very heavy into, sensuality, it's being billed as, a sexy, intimate exploration of female-driven house music. So I guess what to you is like the importance of sexuality to this record? How did this record come together with that in mind?
I think for women especially, sexuality and your whole identity around it is so policed by the world and especially the music industry, by the music industry. And in some ways, I actually rebelled against it. Like when I was a younger artist and I was going into record labels and showing my music, um, I remember actually being told, like, we like the music, but we don't feel like we want to have sex with you. Like things like that. And I was just like, how could you say that to me? I'm like a college student and you're telling me that my music is great, but my like outfit's not sexy enough. And I felt like
Mhm.
very controlled. So I kind of rebelled against that side of myself putting it out. But at the same time, there's so much power in the sensual energy and it really does run the world to a certain extent. And I think when you own it yourself and when you really explore who you are in that sort of capsule, it unlocks a lot about yourself. And honestly, like so much of our trauma and everything is also rooted in that energy and bringing that into flow. So me having gone through so many hard experiences, it's been a very interesting year. Like I've gone into this sort of sensual energy, but I also started stand-up comedy, which is
Mhm.
kind of crazy because it's just so opposite of what I ever thought I'd be doing. But it's really, again, comedy is like exploring the dark side. It's exploring the hard things in your life and trying to make light out of that. And yeah, I just always felt like policed with the way I looked and stuff. And I'd often like just want to cover up and be sporty or put on a thick jacket or just, I don't know, be a little more cute about it. But you know what? Now is the moment to kind of unlock this Pandora's box. And wow, I actually, one of the songs on this project blew my mind because I freestyle melody, but I don't usually freestyle lyrics in full the way that I did in this one song, the song To Die to Sleep, which is the
Mhm.
last song on the project. I was joking, honestly. I just picked up the mic and was pretending to recite a Shakespeare poem.
Yes,
But when I,
Romeo, yeah, like from Romeo and Juliet.
yeah,
Yeah.
Romeo, Romeo. But I freestyled that. But then
Okay.
when I listened back, I didn't change a single thing. Like the whole thing was freestyled.
That's cool.
There was no edits. I honestly have to still memorize the lyrics because I never actually wrote them. I just channeled them,
Okay, that's okay.
which is crazy.
I love that.
Um, and I think when you're in your element with sensuality, you are kind of channeling energy with another person, or even with yourself. Like, I don't believe sensuality and sexuality are the same thing. I think
Mhm.
sensuality is what makes you flow. And and it is what makes you ultimately connect with another person because it's so easy for that to go away, for like anything in life to turn that off.
Mhm.
So it's for me it's like even it's just sort of fascinating to explore that energy now that I'm thinking about it more and now that I'm exploring it with music, to just even thinking about it in general, about how it affects our lives, our relationships, how hard it is to hold on to and ignite it, because sometimes you get into a relationship, you have that at the beginning and then it starts to fade away. So how do you keep it going? um how do you keep, you have sensuality with your audience too? And I feel like that's where I feel it the most, is the exchange between myself and the crowd. There's so much of a connection when I'm on stage.
Mhm.
And I just have that, I'm so lucky that way, that I feel so comfortable on stage so that I'm able to actually fully feel that connection with my audience. I don't really have stage fright. And so it is all about the conversation we're all having with the music, with our body movement, with the eye contact, people coming on stage. Like it's a whole experience. And I that's one of my favorite things, is being on stage for just that reason. And I think it's that flow of energy that we're all sharing, and it makes this unique moment that you can't recreate ever again or anywhere else. It's just all the people in the room connect to
Mhm.
make this exact experience.
And you mentioned, freestyling a lot of it. You said it stays in bed was like 5 minute process. Is there a track that was more challenging than the others?
Sorry, the
Um,
lights are shifting again.
of
It's so
course.
weird.
Was there a track that was
You're
more
all
challenging
good.
than others when you were putting this together?
Yeah, let me think about that one. What was the hardest? Stays in bed, and then we have. Oh, okay. It's my birthday. Did you hear it's my birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, that one was really easy to write. It was really hard to do the mixing session. That's where you balance like all the levels.
Mhm.
That process was so hard. Um, I don't know what it was, but we'd like we turn the, like, it basically goes from a single voice into group vocals. But when we turned the main voice up, the vocals felt weak, and like, then we turned them up and they sounded too loud. And so getting the levels on that song right was so hard.
Mhm.
I've never had that much trouble. I think we went back, like that delayed the release of the whole album.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, like it was, we could. I was just like, it's not. It's just something's not quite right yet. We have to fix this. And we went back, I think, like six times to redo it. So that one was hard to like finish. Honestly, most of them were pretty. They flowed out of me. So we have "Stays in Bed," "To the Runway." Okay, yeah. "To the Runway" was a whole other song,
Mhm.
and again, it wasn't feeling right. and I was trying to fix it, trying to make it right. And then I just did the thing that they tell you to do as an artist is throw away your darlings. So I
Mm,
threw away the whole song. And then
mm,
my dancer was in town, Jalen, and we were doing a show. And I was like, Jalen, do you want to come to the studio? Like, it'd be fun to write dance music with a dancer in the room. And Jalen came through, and then I gave him the mic, and so that's Jalen singing "To the Runway, You Better Walk." And so it's amazing because my dancer is now being sort of thrust into the music side of things and is in
right.
love is loving that. And that was totally unplanned, but it it ended up working out so well. Like his energy was exactly what the track needed, and we wrote a whole new song. So
Mm.
that was it wasn't working as the way it was before, but it's a completely different song than what it was. So that was tough. And honestly, so then we go, oh, so erotic with peaches.
I think
That
that was my
was really
favorite
easy,
track on
honestly.
the. I think that was my favorite track in the
Oh,
set.
it's one of my favorite songs I think I've ever put out. Like
Hmm.
Peaches is an icon,
Hmm.
total legend, just came through, got on the mic. Like she says such a calm energy. She's so wild on stage and all that. But in person, she's like really zen and
Hmm.
calm. And it's like it's like not what you expect. But she came through, literally heard the track. I was like, I think this is the right track for us. Like, I'd love you to be on this if you like it. She loved it. Literally just very quietly started just writing lyrics. I was like, you want help? She's like, no, I'm good. Gets on the mic. All I hear is mumbling, like, and I'm like, okay, I think she's just like trying things out. That's usually what I do. I'll just mumble things. They're not quite the right idea yet.
Hmm.
She did like one or two takes and we turned it on and it was like iconic. It's my favorite part of the whole track. Like, I'm like, I like Peach's part better than my own. Quite frankly, I'm like, is it wrong to sing her part on stage when she's not with me? Because I love it. But yeah, no, that one was like, it just was fun. There was literally four producers in the room at the time.
Hmm.
It's funny because like the most iconic producer in the room was just hanging out. It was like a Jamiroquai. He did like Coldplay and Radiohead, and he just was like, "I'm gonna come by to hang out today." And he was just watched the session. I was like, "Wow, why didn't we use him as well?" But anyways, he's on Dancing and Crying 3. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. It's literally just I've the cool thing about Dancing and Crying is it has just been such a community experience. So basically I just kind of get together my favorite people
Hmm.
and we hang out, we just write we kind of just hang out and then when we get kind of the feeling of like playful energy, we'll just kind of turn on the mic and start going. But most of it, we're just hanging out, discussing life, ideas, listening to music, and then we're like, oh, let's try something. We turn on the mic. 15 minutes later, we have an idea, and so you hear that playfulness and expression throughout all the volumes that are coming and that we've put out, and then Jess Cake, who is in the room, is the one who introduced me to Bradley, who's the producer. I was just telling you about who's now on Dancing and Crying 3. So it's all just friends and friends connecting with friends and hanging out. And we literally would go out like Peaches and I went out to a comedy club and I performed stand-up comedy for her. And like the experience behind the music is almost more than the music itself.
Hmm.
And I think it needs that energy. Like that's what creates the project. So it's been such a cool experience.
Now, this is kind of a two-part question, but I guess you talk about all the people you worked with. How does your music kind of lend itself to collaboration with all these other artists? And second half of the question, what served as like an inspiration in making this record?
The volume two.
Yeah.
I honestly did not plan on doing features on dancing and crying in general. Like it was
Hmm.
gonna just be my own personal exploration of dance music. So I actually held off on the first one. I
Hmm.
completely held off on features.
Right.
But when I started working on So Erotic, it was just like the ether sent me a message. It was like Peaches needs to be on this track. And I literally went on Instagram and slid into her DMs. I didn't think she was gonna get back to me.
Hmm.
But I was like, hey, I really like you on a song. And so she came through and she actually, I remember she asked me, she's like, oh, who else is featured on this project? And I was like, Peaches, like just you. You're like the only one. And she was pretty shocked. So it was like the inspiration for this whole project was to just really kind of step into the dance space and try to push some of the boundaries. I think it can get really, it can feel sometimes like a bit of an echo chamber because the genres. I think honestly, streaming does that a lot nowadays. They
Mhm.
like there's playlists and there's a lot of metaphorical boxes that we get put into as musicians and playlists. Like trying to get on certain playlists that are big um, is part of like people sometimes create music specifically to get on playlists.
Mhm.
And so I remember literally playing the music for some like a big manager, and he was like, I don't know where this is even going to get put on because it's such a mix of genres.
Right.
It's going to be really hard to get playlists. I was like, well, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing because it shows that it's pushing the boundaries. And I think dance music, it's very DJ driven.
Mhm.
It's not really performance driven, but dance music should be performance driven. It's dance music. It's made for dancing. It's made for the body to express itself. So I really wanted to come into this space, come back because I entered music in this space. I wanted to come back just kind of turning it upside down and just feeling where have we not explored and what stone has been unturned so far. And especially make dance music that lends itself to the stage. And it's interesting because Dancing and Crying one is a little more like what I would feel like is more when I perform it, more choreographed.
Mhm.
Whereas Dancing and Crying two is more felt. So also like showing on stage how the music informs the performance. It's not just myself as a performer doing the things I always do. It's me interpreting the music through movement. And sometimes as a performer, I like to like choreograph everything, but then sometimes I just like to let myself feel it and let myself move organically on stage. And it's finding the balance on this show between that and dancing and crying too definitely lends itself more to the just sort of spontaneous movement, which is interesting because most of the songs were more spontaneous in the way that they were written.
Mhm.
So it's just very interesting that I feel like that with movement as well. It's what's so cool about art.
And part of Dancing and Crying 2, you recorded at your home studio?
I think all of it
All of
was
it.
literally in this room right
Nice.
now. Yeah, I have like it's kind of messy over there, but I have my little studio set up. That's my
Mhm.
little dog I painted. It's messy right now, but uh and we did I think Dancing and Crying 3 is the only one that was recorded partially in another space
Okay.
just to change it up a little bit because sometimes
Mhm.
you need to change the space just to get new energy in the room. But pretty much like literally it's my birthday was recorded on my birthday in this room. I think I was wearing the same tattered shirt, honestly. Like only I was wearing a wig and I was like
Mhm.
dressing up as I had this alias character. I was pretending to be another person when I started stand up comedy. So I was going out as Dirty Caroline with this like long wig and these like tattered clothes and making this whole alias. And around that time, we were working on Dancing and Crying too, and we were like doing Photoshop shoots in the room while we were making music and changing the lights in the room. That's another thing is like it's interesting what colors influence the music you're making as well to
Yeah, how
change
do
the
you
vibe.
find that affects how you make your music?
Color affects us so much. I don't think we realize the full extent of what color does to us. And actually, I've been researching recently how it's actually very powerful to meditate to certain colors. And I want to try that, which makes sense because I feel like when I'm making music, I'm meditating. And then when I'm changing the color, it's like the color evokes a feeling.
Mhm.
If you turn on red, it feels like either an alarming color or like passionate. It just puts you in a totally different headspace and your brain chemistry changes when the color in the room changes as
Mhm.
well. So that's a really cool way to like if you're feeling writer's block or something to just change the color of the lighting in the room. We had like lasers going. We had like all sorts of things. Galaxy lights.
Yeah, I
This room
mean, the
did
more
not look
colors,
the way it looks.
the better, I guess. Like maybe more different feeling.
Yeah, yeah, it was just fun,
Yeah.
honestly. I had so much fun with this project.
Mhm.
The volume two was more fun to make in a sense because volume one was at the tail end of the pandemic.
Hmm.
It took a while. I did a lot of it remotely.
Hmm.
So it was just like sending things back and forth. Sugar Jesus was in Canada and I was in Los Angeles at the time with my friend who was a co-writer on that one. So it was like us going back and forth, but it makes such a difference being in the room, especially with the people that are working on the production with you.
Hmm.
Like I love to be in the room and I try not to do remote sessions anymore if I can help it. So just like I'll literally fly somewhere to be in the room with someone because it makes such a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And now, is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like the people of Buffalo to know before the release of Volume 2 and before the show on August 16th?
I'm just really excited to get back on tour and excited to connect with everyone. I really hope people come out. I know that choosing what concerts to go to is a big decision. So I really hope you choose to come to mine. And yeah, there's a lot of music coming. I really encourage people to go listen to Dancing and Crying 1 and 2 when it comes out because it's new music, but I put so much of my heart into this and it really, really is a fun project. So
Mhm.
yeah, definitely listen to that ahead of the show. And I mean, really, all I can say is there's a lot coming. My social media has all the updates. So if you can't spell my name, it's Kieszza. Do you say Z or Z in
Z in
America?
America.
It's Z. Okay.
Yeah.
I always get that mixed up. Kieszza. And yeah, so just appreciate the love.
Awesome. And then last question I have, what's a song, past or present, that you would recommend everybody listen to right now?
It's there's a song I've been listening to a lot. Why am I like literally I just had a brain fart. Let me okay, there's an artist I've been listening to a lot, which is ambient music.
Hmm.
Um, Vancouver Sleep Clinic. And it subtly influenced this project. So the last song at the very end, it actually turns into ambient music.
Hmm.
I'm literally having the biggest brain fart.
No worries.
Wait. Just I know I've been playing this song on repeat for months. I like to blame my brain injury, but I this has been me my whole life. Oh yeah, it's called Middle of Nowhere. It,
Okay.
it's it's kind of like it has nothing to do with dance music, honestly.
Hmm.
I think I need it because I've been like making so much dance music. I needed an equal opposite. It was like the yin to my yang. So I found myself listening to tons of ambient music. But I think there's something, it's sort of sad. It's like about kind of going home because you have to and reminiscing on life and like finding your old room. And it's like, this used to be home, but it isn't now. And
Right.
my life has been so full of change, especially with an injury that I was recovering from. It's like every year was so drastically different and it's so hard to predict. So I think there's something about the energy of that song that really connected with the side of myself that has just been sort of thrust into so much change, but also just kind of clinging to like things that do feel like home.
Hmm.
Um, and I found myself driving to that one a lot and just turning it on at night and like feeling really sort of connected to that song. But I really like Vancouver Sleep Clinic for a sort of a relaxing, chill out artist. It's very vibey, and I honestly have so many songs. I have so many playlists, and I'm actually overwhelmed by them because I'm like there's just so many songs on my playlist. When people are like, "What are the songs you're listening to?" It's more like I'm building playlists
Hmm.
for certain moods and energies. And then I
Hmm.
have
Yeah.
so many songs on them that I'm like, I don't know which one. I get overwhelmed. But
Well,
but yeah.
Kiesza, thank you again for
I
taking the
share some
time.
of my playlists. They're like
Yeah.
sitting in like they're sitting just by themselves for me, but I should share them with people.
Yeah. I don't know. I always I ask this question to artists because I like to know what's on their mind, what they're listening to when they're making their art. So yeah, I think that would be
I honestly Interesting enough, I actually very much turn music off when I start the creative process. It's not like I don't listen to it, but I don't want to be directly influenced by any one particular song.
Mhm.
We cannot help but be influenced by the music we've listened to. Like there's no way around that. But I don't want to go say like sample a song and be like, I'm going to try to recreate my own thing like that. Like I
Mhm.
really want the inspiration to come from me and my emotions and the moment and the present.
Yeah.
Um, I think at most I might be like, um, there was a drum beat that was like really groovy. Let me just like see how that went and see if like it's more like a genre or it's like blending genres with each other. So I might listen to different songs within a genre
Mhm.
and then step away and then see how I organically make the songs. But this year I've been actually, as much as I've been listening to music, I've been listening to less. I've had a lot more quiet this year, which I was actually discussing with some of my friends. I found myself just really enjoying silence a lot.
Mhm.
I think there's just a lot of noise in the world. I think there's a lot of noise on social media, and I think the news is all really confusing and crazy. And I think sometimes it's nice to just literally sit with yourself in complete silence.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite song is Sound of Silence.
It's funny, the last person I talked to, Marlon Wayans, was doing his comedy tour, and he's the last person I talked to who said he prefers silence as his like when he's working, when he's writing. So I think it's cool how some artists also prefer to just kind of have just like the voice in their head as what they're kind of listening to when they're um creating.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely in the same boat.
Mhm.
Oh no, my dog's barking.
Oh no.
Anyways, yeah, I think I just like as much as I love other music and I love other artists, when I'm making my own music, it's coming from me. So I
Right.
don't want to be stealing or copying from someone. And even like I can get stuck on my own melodies. Like I can get into a certain headspace and then I struggle to to find other melodies because I'm so used to the vibe I'm in. Um so sometimes I have to even like turn myself off in a weird way. Or that's the one time I might listen to music. It has nothing to do with getting inspired. It's just doing like interrupting my own ideas. Um anyways, yeah.
But thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and
Yeah,
I'll
this is
send
awesome.
over the article and the interview and everything when it's all set. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I really like the questions you asked. It was
Thanks.
fun. Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.